100 plus day voyage around the world recently with some.
Okay, we are back. And by the way, YouTube, the notification when you are in is different. I almost got confused. Okay, we are ready here. We are going to be recording. Okay. All right, Nilbert, good morning and good morning, everybody. Ready to rock and roll. Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, George. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Happy Tuesday. Very, very exciting week. I know I was listening to George recounting last week was already exciting because we had a lot of advancements because as we know, these promotions started well, I think Friday night our time. So people had the opportunity to just get in and jump in and already take advantage of these promotions. It's still going on for a week. And I think it's only available for a week until the Sunday. Is that right, George?
Yes, yeah, we are until the 30th. That I think is on 29 or 30th. 30th, yeah, that would be Sunday.
Yeah, so it's only good for a week, and we don't know if this could be the only time that's offered this year. So definitely, if you still don't understand, what these packs can do for your business, definitely get with your leadership, get with your upline. And today's topic is actually pretty fitting considering what we're trying to achieve this week, because as everyone knows, objections are part and parcel to what we do on a daily basis, right? In this industry, there will always be objections. You can't get around it, So the best thing to do is to really learn how to overcome it, so to speak. And it takes practice, it takes experience, because you'll only get better at it the more objections you actually experience, the more objections you actually encounter. That's how you're gonna know how to really overcome it, and you're gonna, oh wait, this is the same objection I had, last time. So you're kind of going to know how to deal with it. Now, what I'm going to do today, I'm not going to do a slideshow today. What I'm going to do today is it's going to be more open and interactive kind of training on objections. I think just to kind of change it up and mix it up a little bit. I'd love for people to basically share their experiences as well with with the top regarding the topic that we're talking about. So overcoming objections. In our industry, there's basically in my opinion, there's basically three main things you kind of have to kind of have to know how to deal with objections. Number one, you have to understand objections. Okay, why people hesitate, and what are common objections. Number two, you kind of have to do a mind shift by reframing the objections as opportunities. Okay, that's very important because objections, our natural human instinct or natural like reaction is like it's negative, right? It's negative. They're not interested. They're not gonna do this, right? But we kind of have to train ourselves to have this mindset shift to reframe the objection as an opportunity. And then that leads to the third part where, we can learn how to handle objections with confidence using, proven tech responses and techniques. And when I say proven, like, this is what works and this is, what doesn't. And then kind of like as an added bonus on the fourth one, feel free to role play this using, questions and answers with your team. You can help each other train how to overcome objections by doing role play, right? With your leadership, with your team. If you're leading a team already, whenever you have training sessions, do some Q&A and practice real world scenarios, okay? So number one, understanding objections. So objections are not rejections. I say that again, okay? Objections are not rejections. They are requests for more information, plain and simple. When they object, depending on what their objection is, It's basically a call for you to provide more information that will address that particular reaction that they had. So, okay, common objections in our industry, right? I don't have time. How many have heard that? Right? I don't have time to do this. I have so many other so many other things going on, right? How many have heard that? Okay. Feel free to either put that in the chat. Again, we're gonna make this a little more interactive. People say I don't have the money. Okay, I don't have the finances, right? Or I'm not a salesperson. Heck, I could definitely have, that definitely applies to me because I'm not a salesperson at all. Okay. Is this a pyramid scheme? Like how many have heard that when they share this opportunity to others? Like how many have heard like this is not, is this a pyramid scheme? Right? Okay. I need to think about it. Very common as well. I need to think about it. I need some time to think about this. Okay. So these are very common objections in our industry. So again, objections come from, a lack of understanding, past experiences or fear of change. Okay. When you share an opportunity with someone who's already familiar with the industry, they may have had a bad experience or a negative experience with the previous network marketing companies, right? So that's, kind of gives them a sour taste, so to speak. Or they're very comfortable where they currently are right now. Remember, where do dreams go to die? Where do dreams go to die? Right? They go to die in our comfort zone, right? Nothing ever grows in a comfort zone, right? We need to be out of our comfort zone. And for a lot of people, that's very true. They're very comfortable. They have a steady 9 to 5 job. They have a steady paycheck every 2 weeks or every month, right? They're comfortable. So fear of change, okay, it's very common. Okay, so now that we kind of understand um, uh, common objections and why people say that. The key is now is to have a mindset shift about, how we treat objections. So objections equals opportunities. Okay, objections equal opportunities. So instead of fearing objections, I would say welcome them as a chance to educate and to build trust. When they provide objections, this is your opportunity, right? This is your opportunity to basically um, educate them by providing more information and to build trust, build a relationship, especially if your prospect or who you're talking to is a new prospect, someone you just met for the first time, through an event or a conference or something like that, right? Uh, the way to do this, okay, first and foremost, you have to stay calm and confident because your energy will influence their response. Does that make sense? Your energy will influence their response. If you get a little like if they object, they provide you an objection and you kind of like, approach it like, well, you see, it's really nothing like that. It's really not a pyramid scheme. You kind of have this stance where you're defensive, you're unsure of what you're saying, then it's not going to go over very well. It's not going to establish a trust on their part. Like, wow, this guy's not even really sure what he's talking about or something like that, right? So you have to stay calm and then you have to address it with confidence. Okay. Ask questions. Find out their real concern. Okay, find out their real concern. I find that when you ask questions, you will get to the bottom of. Sometimes they just initially blurt out, "Oh, I don't really have the time." Okay, well, and you ask questions. Well, um, so how much time do you think you will need to kind of put into this endeavor? And you ask like, if you've done first part of your like prospecting, if you've done the form process where you ask about family, you ask about what do you call that? Opportunity. You ask about, I mean, occupation, I mean, and you ask about their recreational activities and their motivation. You'll probably have a little bit more idea on how their life is, like what constitutes their, their week or their month. Okay, so find out their real concern. What about this makes you hesitant? That's a very simple question to ask. What about this makes you hesitant? It's very direct and it'll force them to think like, okay, well, you see, and you kind of will, this will help you get to the bottom or get to the root of why they're actually objecting. And then once they provide you that answer, it's very important to relate and validate, right? To relate and validate. Show empathy. I felt the same way at first, but here's what I've learned. Okay, that's one way. Right? Remember the feel, felt, found method. You guys have heard that a lot already from previous trainings, right? I felt the same way, right? But this is what I found, right? Okay, here's an example, right? Someone says, I don't have the time. Okay, so okay, I totally understand. A lot of our top earners started part-time. If I could show you how to do this in small pockets of your day, would you be more open to learning more? Right? So, now that, you kind of zeroed in that he said, okay, I don't have the time. Okay. So you basically, what you did, you restructured it. You related with him. I totally understand. Right. And then you use it as a real example because it's true. A lot of our top earners in this industry, they started part-time. So, okay. So what if I could show you how to do this in small pockets of your day, just, an hour a day, 2 hours a day? Would you be more open to learning more? Right. And again, you didn't even go for the would you enroll, right? No, you didn't jump in. You just said, would you be open to learning more? That's very key right there because there was like, well, yeah, I'll be open to learning a little bit more about it. Right. And then you're slowly establishing trust. Okay. All right. Handling objections, I mentioned, you really have to handle it with confidence. Okay. And I already mentioned, the feel, felt, found method, very, very effective, right? I understand how you feel. So you're relating, you're connecting. I felt the same way, right? You're putting, you're giving them a scenario where, it's a very real scenario, right? Because you're putting yourself in their shoes. Like I felt the same way. That's exactly how I felt. But this is what I found. Okay. So here's an example. Okay. And this really kind of applies to me even because, I'm not a salesperson. I really am not, 22 years in the military, I'm definitely not a salesperson. So someone tells me I'm not a salesperson. I said, I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way because I've never done sales before. But what I found is that this business is really more about sharing your story and helping people rather than selling. And God's honest truth, that's exactly how I feel. That's why I used this example. To me, it's really not about selling. I mean, the way I do this is really not about selling. It's about sharing my story, sharing what happened to me initially, how I got introduced to the products, and then what happened to me over the course of, almost 2 years now, how it has transformed my health. Okay. How it has helped me overcome a lot of my conditions, just by, living healthy and adding these all natural products, right? So I found that this business is really more about sharing your story and helping people rather than selling. Okay. So the what if close. This is actually very I need to get better at it because it takes practice. Okay. Everything I'm telling you right now, it's unless you've been doing this for like, like a long time, right? It really takes practice. I know a lot of people here that I see in the Zoom have way more experience than I do in this industry, 30 years of experience, or when I say industry, even from previous platforms, right? So you've already developed a lot of these skills that you can apply here. But the what if close is actually very, very effective. You turn objections into possibilities. Okay. So what if this could actually help you earn extra income without interfering with your current schedule? You let that play in their mind, like, okay, yeah, what if I can do this and I can still maintain my current schedule, right? What if this opportunity will allow you to spend more time with your family? What if this opportunity will allow you to, go on trips and vacations while still continuing to earn income, right? Um, do the what if scenarios. It's very effective because you let them actually think about the possibilities. Okay. Okay. So, uh, like I said, in order to practice this, rather than practicing it directly on your prospects, which could end up really good or end up really bad. It depends because you're practicing, right? Um, Practice with your team members, practice with your leadership, your upline, your downline, right? Your sidelines, because we are such a great community here. All of us here on the Zoom right now, we belong from, we all belong like to different teams and all that, but we're all working together, right? So again, just to recap a little bit, okay? So objections are normal. Don't be afraid of objections, okay? That only means the prospect is actually considering the opportunity. Okay? You listen, you validate, what they're saying, and you respond with confidence. Okay? Reframe objections into opportunities, right? To educate and to build trust. Okay. So if you practice these, handling objections daily, like with your team or whatever, I guarantee you your confidence will grow. You'll develop more confidence, and then the more confidence you develop, the more the vibrations you send out actually are more effective, and people will respond in a way I think. In a more positive way. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to open up the floor. I'm sure everyone here has like, memorable experience of like objections that they've had, and like whether you didn't know how to handle it at the time, or whether you did handle it and how you handle it. Please feel free to share. Okay, please feel free to share. Let's open up just to kind of make it, really definitely so that everyone can hear from each other's experience. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have an experience about an objection that you want to share and how you handle it, or how it stumped you, right? Either way, that way we can kind of like, kind of like help you. Okay, well, next time if you see that, hear that objection, this is probably a better way to handle it, so to speak. Okay.
I think somebody just, okay. Hi.
Is that Rochelle? Oh, that's
Oh,
Rochelle. Yeah.
yeah, it's Rochelle, and it's not necessarily an objection. Just I like to have fun with it and kind of question them. Just kind of like make them start thinking about things a little bit differently. And here's something that I kind of throw out at people. I'm like, the biggest pyramid scheme, honestly, is our nutritional, like the way that we look at nutrition. We all learn nutrition with the triangle. Um, well, in this day and age, it's flipped. That triangle is upside down. So I kind of bring, I just like to have fun with it and kind of, get people thinking about things differently. And, the biggest pyramid scheme is our nutritional, the way that we look at nutrition in this country.
That's actually pretty interesting, Rochelle. Yeah, I mean, what that does is it kind of makes them think, huh?
Hmm.
So and that's and again, that's the whole purpose of the what if
Yep.
scenarios, and turning it around and me getting them to think. That's amazing, Rochelle. Actually, that kind of, it reminds me of a similar one I experienced, and then I use a comparison with our corporate. With we know with everyone are so like they're so sold into working for somebody else, right? In a company, as a in the corporate world. So someone is similar. Someone kind of mentioned, well, I think this is really one of those pyramid schemes where someone above you will always make more money than you do, and all that. I said, huh, well, that's interesting that you say that. You say you're working for this whatever company. I said, yeah. How long have you been working for that company? And they said, well, I mean, I've been there for like 3 years. Oh, okay. So do you have are you the CEO? Oh, no, no, no. I'm just,
Hmm.
I just work in one of the departments. Oh, okay. So you have a manager? Yeah, I have a manager. And does that manager have, maybe like an area manager or something like that? Yep, yep. There's this other manager that handles all the departments, kind of like the department head. Oh, okay. And does that department have a boss? Yeah, he answers directly to the CEO. Oh, okay. So I bet you're making the same money as a CEO. No, no, no way, not at all. How about the manager? No, the department head. Are they making the same money as the CEO? No. Oh, so the CEO, the one at the very top, is making the most money. Huh, interesting. And then it's kind of like, and then he kind of like, huh, well, yeah, if you put it that way. So, again, similar to what Rochelle mentioned, you kind of like have fun with it, right? It's really a lot of times when people say that looks like a pyramid scheme. It's number one, either they just heard it from somebody, the concept, and they personally did not have any real experience with it because, I mean, just for FYI for everyone, pyramid schemes are technically illegal,
Hmm.
right? It's actually illegal. There's a law against pyramid schemes, right? So um, it started way back in, like, I can't remember what decade it was, where people were trying to get people to invest in money where there's actually no product. They're getting people, oh, with the promise of this opportunity, whatever, with no product. They use that money to basically pay other people. That's what you call a pyramid scheme, and it's just totally illegal, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, good example, Rochelle. Thank you.
Something I was going to say, usually many times the way that we present the business create the objection. And the reason I say that is because that objection, I have it way more in the 90s and early 2000 than I have it today. I think today I have it maybe one every 20 people or 30 people. And my question is to them, what is a pyramid? What do you think is the answer of the person? Anybody? Or you, Nilbert? When I ask a person, what is a pyramid?
Like if I ask them what is a pyramid,
Yeah. What do you think would be the answer of the person?
um, the most common answers that I get was like, yeah, well, you're basically what you're doing, you're making the person above you more money,
Mhm.
and that there will always be someone above you who'll make, the most money, basically.
Okay. I then my second question, what else? The reason, and I'm going to come back to something that you're going to say. Most people don't know the what else, or they say it's illegal. This is
That's right.
my answer. You know what? I used to feel the same way because that was true. Before I joined network marketing, it took me years because I didn't understand it. And I say I felt the same way until I found out that it's not the case. As a matter of fact, and I put an example, I've been in the industry for so much. There was a company where I became the ninth person to hit $1 million, but there were thousands of people about me, and I made more than thousands of them. And I said, what and where you work, can you do that? You can make more than everybody that came before you that still are in the system. And that's basically the same. They say no. They say, huh, that's interesting. because I make more money than thousands of people that are about me. I was the number 9 for, there are like 4 people here that they know me from that company. And that's the truth. The other thing is, I have in the same company, I have 40 people that earn over $1 million in my team. 5 of them make more money than me. Can you do that in corporate America? And I said, and then most people say, oh, that's true. Now, the people that say, oh, a pyramid is illegal. Wow. What do you mean it's a pyramid again? Do you know that there are companies been around for 75 years? Do you think illegal stuff will last 75 years? I'm talking about companies like Amway, for example.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, wow. And then say, and the cool thing, you can make more money than me. And that's 100% true, because I experienced here in 3, I have already one person in my team that's a 5-star and I'm 4-star. That's an example. You can make more money. Anybody here can make more money than all of us. And that's the cool thing. That's probably one of the objections that I have. The less, because again, and you say with your company, how many the people that your boss can you make more money than your boss? And we are talking about employees. We are not talking even the CEO. No, I can't. You can't. There's no way. Here you can make more money and the person's bringing you up. Now, in real pyramids, illegal, that may happen, but we are not a pyramid. That's the cool thing. I love it. Usually when people start saying those things, I say, you know what? I'm glad that we are not one of those. That's simple. It's why I like to ask questions. Oh, I'm glad we are not one of those. I said, really? Yeah, we have our products in the PDR. Every doctor has access to that. Can you imagine a pyramid doing that? They would be super smart, but it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's so important. It's and a lot has to do with our posture. Like I said, rarely comes anymore because the way that we do the presentation, when we are creating the credibility of the company, I mean, Dr. Dan and all that stuff, holy cow. It's rare that conversation is going to come. It's really. The other thing that part-time, when I started, I had 3 jobs. Now, I didn't have a cell phone. That was in the early 90s when having a cell phone was very expensive. But I have a bunch of quarters. What do you think I was doing in the quarters every time I have a break? Making calls on the quarter. That means that you can start definitely super part-time. There's no, and today with the tools that we have, as a matter of fact, Thursday, I'm going to be talking about the app. Make sure you are there because the app saves you a lot of time. And it's cool. And it's like a nice game. But anyway, I don't want to monopolize everything, but I just wanted to say that I think Shannon has a question or a comment.
Yeah, George, I have a question. So if you have a person who is taking another product and they're like, oh, but I use this other product. I like this better because of this. What is your response to somebody who's maybe in another company, but they looked at your company? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, you ask, what is your name of the product? Let me check the PDR.
Okay, good one.
There is a 99% chance that, because there are some network marketing companies have people in the products in the PDR, but they're old companies, 40 years old. Took years them to get it there. And they don't have, and usually they are older products. They don't have the technology we have. But they always have, wow, what is the name of the product? I want to check the PDR. There is a 99% chance, because not even Amway, that's been around for 70 years, or Shackley, 71 years, they have the products on the PDR. That'll give you a clue. Okay.
George, can I ask a quick question?
Hi, Jeremy. Yes. Hi.
Hi, this is Mei Ling, and I'm sorry I'm not on camera. I have a lot of friends who, this is kind of similar to Shannon's question, but I have a lot of friends who, they take, I'll just say, very high quality practitioner grade supplements.
Correct.
And they would never take something like from Costco or something like that. They take really high quality. And so I'm just not sure how to kind of break through that with them because they think they're taking the very best.
Well, the same question. I like to ask for the link for the PDR. And the second thing, I say, there are new technologies that have been discovered every day. And I want you to check this. I'm not saying that their products are bad. Every day there are new technologies. And it's true, by the way. It's 100% true. Every day, new technologies, and there's a new technology I want to introduce you to. I'm not going to say, hey, your product is lower quality or anything like that. And also, they are in the PDR. The health professional is so impressed that they are in the PDR. What is the PDR? Every doctor has access to that, and I cannot tell them what it is. It's your product in the PDR, and there, like again, there's a really rare chance that it's going to be there. Thank you for the question.
Can I, do you mind if I just like go one step further with that?
Yes.
And I'm just working through what I'm concerned about with objections I've received. And that is like some people, a lot of people that I know are very into like very holistic medicine, and they don't really value so much whether it's in the PDR or if, because they're very more on the very holistic. So people who don't necessarily, they're not into technology, for example, like they just want very natural. I'm just not sure how to really, I think maybe I need to, with those people, maybe not focus on the technology so much.
Well, the reason that the technology, I asked the person, you know that we have a big problem absorbing stuff. And by the way, you know what is interesting? Many of the people that are using those holistic products for a long time, they still have health problems.
Right.
The reason I know is because I know neighbors. They are overweight, they have health, because obviously they are not absorbing what they have. Even if they are expending $150, like I have a neighbor in 14 days supplies of a shake that he using from New Zealand, or things like that, but they are not, because they are not absorbing. And that's why I'll say, it's why it's so important. Technology is very important because it helps you to absorb. Technology is natural, by the way. We are not talking about anything unnatural. Enzymes and things like that, those are totally natural. A liposome, what is the liposome? It's a natural fat. Everything's natural. It's how you combine everything. And I say, take this technology, because when we hit technology, some people get scared. Oh, that sounds synthetic. No, you look at our products, we don't have anything synthetic. It's totally natural. And it's like they did an interview with Dr. Dan. I wish I remember what it is, what it's called East Meet West. The reason East is because we know about all the Ayurvedic medicine and the Chinese medicine, etc. And West, we had the technology where you can see what's going on for real. I mean, when I mean for real, they have the traditions that for years have been tested, but on people, but they don't have the labs that to show that really is working. And some people are blocked here. The cool thing that we had the science that prove what the nutritional products combine do all this holistic stuff, because we don't have anything unnatural. And you say there is always new stuff. Always new stuff. If a person wants to stay in the past, that's okay. And I said that if you want to happy with the old technology, that's okay, or the old formulation. Now, but take a look at this before you tell me no. Watch this video, because a parachute only works when it's open. The same now on mine, by the way.
Hey, George, this is Linda McCormick.
Hey, Linda.
Can I jump in?
Oh yeah, and Linda, you are the right person to answer.
Yeah, I mean, because I have a lot of friends that are like that too. They're using, they go to these holistic doctors, they pay a lot of money for these products, and it's usually the doctor's name on the product, by the way, and it's usually white labeled. So that's just one of the biggest markets for the white label are these holistic doctors. And secondly, I would ask, and I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that, but I ask, well, sounds great. Let me see their data. Where's your data? And I guarantee you, because I've asked it of several people, there's no data, or the data it's not good. I mean, it just talks about the ingredients and not really what, how it's made or what the product is or anything. I think they have to be, it's a very tough look that you have to take at these things. There's good marketing behind a lot of them, and they do a really good job of advertising, marketing, putting, celebrities' names or influencers' names behind things, and even the physicians themselves.